J.K. Dobbins impact. We got Penix Jr. and London going to the moon. We're going to talk about that as well and more. We've got Stephon Diggs, AR5, other RBs to talk about, other news, and Najee equals J.K. equals Stevenson. I don't understand why people don't understand the equation and the formula. It's really wild to me. This J.K. Dobbins frantic panicking going on. It's funny. It's wild, but it's very good and advantageous for you if you haven't jumped off the Harvey train already. If you weren't even on the Harvey train, let's be real. If you jumped off the Harvey train because of J.K. Dobbins signing on a $2 million deal, then you were never on the train. You had 1 foot off and 1 foot on, and we don't need you on it anyway. We'll take away your Bijan card.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
Take away your Harvey card, your Bijan card. We'll talk about the impact of J.K. Dobbins, London going to the moon. Penix says so, and more. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
I mean, I can't tell you how many DMs I'm getting right now. It's so laughable. And it also reminds me, sometimes I think that the fantasy community, at least our community, comes together. We're all strong. We're gonna hold our ground through week one. If someone does bad in week one, let's say Travis Hunter has, 2 catches for 18 yards. How strong will the community be, and how panicked Peter will everybody be? And every year I think, it's going to be different this year. Everybody seems to have a lot of conviction. The first sign of something going strangely different than you would like in J.K. Dobbins, even though it's not even a big deal. I wish I could explain this in terms that make sense other than to use Najee, to use Stevenson, to use Dylan Sampson, to use, all these other Blake Corum from last year. Blake Corum was a bigger threat to Kyron last year than this J.K. Dobbins nonsense that's going on. J.K. Dobbins is a perfect handcuff, and he will make the handcuff board. He will be an unbelievable cuff in best ball to Harvey. Harvey and J.K. Dobbins is a best ball gold mine. But the ADP value of Harvey is going to be crazy. I don't even know where he's going to drop to be honest with you. I think it could get really, really bad. And when I say bad, I mean good for those of us that are in the buying business. What ends up happening is everyone's going to get so frantic about this situation, and they're already worried. They're looking for answers. And the problem is that there are so many Harvey haters already. As you've noticed, there's a lot of people that hate that he's 24 years old. There's a lot of people that have already predicted him to do badly. He's looked so good in camp. Or in practice, just looking strong, phenomenal, decisive. Sean Payton's already said so many amazing things about him, that he's going to play all 3 downs. He's their workhorse back. I don't know what people need to hear to feel confident in that. And so JK coming in as a competent backup that could definitely take some work. When you run the ball 450 times, you're gonna need somebody to run the ball at least 100, 125, 130, 140 times. J.K. Dobbins is hopefully that guy for this team. And that doesn't change a single carry for RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey's already got 220 to 240 carries, let's say. RJ Harvey's already got 40 to 50 receptions, let's call it. Those are locked in. The amount of work that J.K. Dobbins is going to take, and no one's saying he won't be on the field. Estime was going to be on the field. They will rotate. Sean Payton always has a Kamara, which includes another running back. I don't understand why people are not understanding Sean Payton. I don't understand why people think that J.K. Dobbins being on the field over Estime at 100 to 120, 140 carries per clip per season would be an issue. He signed a 1-year deal. It's paying him $2 million that could escalate if he's ever called upon to get enough work to where he'll climb up. This is a backup running back. And then we got people panicked everywhere. But keep in mind that the panic Peters The people that are out there making chaos and havoc, especially in the live chat. The people that are saying things that are just nonsensical over and over and over again, trying to scare the chat too. Which honestly, not gonna fly when you're in here trying to troll. You try and troll, you'll get put in timeout. You keep trying to troll, you'll be out of here. But the people that are coming in here trying to kind of throw gasoline on the fire because they've been so off base on Harvey, those are the people you're hearing. Those are the people you're hearing scream from the rooftops. Oh, he's cooked, he's cooked. They've already been saying it. They already hate him. They've already said it over and over and over. The Broncos signing J.K. Dobbins to a 1-year deal. The money on that is a $2.75 million base salary with incentives that make it reachable to hit the 5.2. That's if he's starting his max value. That's if he's hitting certain escalators. So $2.5 million is not your starting running back, number one. Number two, he's the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League. This is a guy who tore his Achilles tendon. Yeah, he played fairly well last year, but so bad near the goal line, the entire Chargers offense did not run the ball well at the goal line. They started to throw the ball at the goal line, which is not what Harbaugh wanted. And they got rid of J.K. Dobbins, did not bring him back because he was inefficient at the goal line. This guy's had a torn Achilles tendon. No running back in the history of the NFL or in fantasy football has ever been a top 10 running back or returned to top 10 running back form after an Achilles tendon tear. It just hasn't happened. J.K. Dobbins is the backup. He's on a 1-year deal. The future is RJ Harvey. Sean Payton's already told you that. But for some reason, people take this and it's people get so frantic and panicked. And honestly, like truly, if anybody jumped off the Harvey train from this news, you were never on it to begin with. You were a poser, acting and posing as a Harvey supporter and believer. Anybody that's not, that knows Harvey's talent, that has watched him, go watch his footage for 5 minutes. You know that this is a special running back. If you go to my Instagram, and you can find my Instagram here, and look at RJ Harvey out there making cuts. I got it on my IG. He looks so unbelievable out there cutting, and his explosion, his vision, just and you can say, oh, Smitty's in shorts. There's more footage. This is just one amazing cut where we talk about how good he looks, how strong he looks, how decisive he looks, quads of Saquon Barkley, cutting ability, like a morph of all these different hardcore power running backs. And Sean Payton saying that we don't like small guys. He's short, but he is not small. And when people say, oh, you can't pass block, Sean Payton said he can pass block. He'll pass block fine. If he couldn't pass block, hypothetically, Sean Payton answered the question. Darren Sproles doesn't take him off the field on third down. Someone said, is he going to be on the field on third down? Is he going to be on the field on third down? Sean Payton said, yeah, he's going to be on the field on third down. Look at Darren Sproles. We have plays designed to get him the ball on third down. What kind of question is that? Will he play on third down? This is a 3-down back. J.K. Dobbins. If you're a J.K. Dobbins going up, RJ Harvey going down, please tell everyone you know. Because you know what's happening. You're buying on the dip anyway. Anybody that owns them already, best ball, don't worry. You didn't overpay. You got what you got way more than what you paid for. But we're about to get RJ Harvey in round 6, I think. Grandma League 6, 7. J.K. Dobbins in Grandma Leagues, who knows? They might even take J.K. before Harvey. Who the hell knows the way that this J.K. Dobbins facade hype is occurring. These people yelling J.K. Dobbins from the rooftops right now, they own him. It feels like a gift to them. These people have been on Harvey's case anyway. 24 years old, won't be good. First sign. This could have been anybody. Eddie George could have come back from you know where to play football, and they would say Eddie George this is the guy. RJ Harvey's done. Doesn't matter who stepped into this role. So we'll go ahead and talk about this. Open up the phone lines in a minute. We do got to cover the rest of this. Look, James Cook showing up to mandatory minicamp, but he says, I like my money. That's why I'm here. He's interested in a new deal. We'll see how much involvement he has and how much of a hold in this would be. We talked about this before. Schefter said 2 days ago, that he's disconnected from the city, from the organization, put his home up for sale, and doesn't think we'll see him in Buffalo anytime soon. 2 days later, he shows up. But this is what I talked about. That don't be surprised if he shows up and holds in. Okay? So he's in potential hold-in mode, which is not really much better than holdout mode other than they don't get fined. Diggs in this situation is still a bit of a mess. Deflected questions regarding the boat video where he was handing out a unknown substance. And he said that has been talked about behind closed doors, that his coach Vrabel said, let's make some good decisions. And he said that he'd like to keep things private and he doesn't like to share that kind of detailed information with people he doesn't know well. Even though he did say something nice, he said, even though you guys are all probably fine, good people, I don't like to share my personal stuff with strangers. But we'll see what Diggs does. Diggs is definitely somebody that I'm not on the Diggs train this year. I think that it's Kyle Williams, the Kyle Williams show, and Diggs should be a little late getting started anyway. Week 4, week 5, week 6, we'll have to see. But Diggs is not somebody I'm buying at all. This guy, Terry McLaurin, does not plan to attend Commanders' mandatory minicamp. McLaurin wants a new contract. Word is on the street that this is going to get done quickly, though. I don't think this will get dragged out. He'll be fine. Don't fret if you own Terry McLaurin. They need him. They want him. JD5 needs it. It's all about JD5. It's going to happen. Don't worry. This is kind of the news I should have rolled with at the top, man. Penix Jr. going out, all out, pulling out all the stops, talking about London and his rise. And Penix Jr. was asked about whether or not he felt that Drake London was underappreciated, underrated across the league. And Penix Jr. replied, he won't be after this year. And I just sat there and I thought,
let him cook.
I've been a little off. Can't seem to get things going, if you know what I mean.
I think I have just the thing for you, Mr. London.
Penix Jr. is trying to tell you something. Not only is he going to have an outstanding, phenomenal year, but he's going to put Drake London on the elite wide receiver map. This will be a player that we talk about alongside of Puka Nacua and St. Brown. Maybe you might have him at the low end of that bracket or group of players, but he could easily be in the middle or the top of it as well. This is a player that could have Drake London and Penix Jr. could have a stellar top 5 season at the position. I mean, Penix Jr. probably slot him for more like 7, QB7, QB6, QB8, QB10, somewhere in that territory. Even if he dances with the 6 to 10s and finishes 9 because everybody's within 15 points or whatever, Penix Jr. is going to the mother freaking moon.
To the moon.
London might be going to
Jupiter.
And he's such a value as a second round player that could produce like a first round wide receiver. London could be a first round wide receiver producer inside, trapped inside, packaged inside, disguised inside round number 2. Might be one of the most elite wide receivers left at that stage, of the draft. Like, can you get a wide receiver 1 that should be in round 1 anywhere in round 2? BTJ falls to the 13. Obviously, he counts. I think it's London. I think London might be MHJ, probably in round 3. Garrett Wilson, round 3. Those are all very, very comparable as well. London, Garrett Wilson, MHJ, JSN. Those are probably the 4 big dogs that could play like at least low-end first-round players. They're phenomenal values. Penix Jr. is going to have a big, big, big season. It's going to be unbelievable to watch this kid explode. Smitty, London, and McBride plus a first for Jamar Chase. No, I'd rather have London, McBride, and a first rounder, my boy. That's too much. You're trying to get Jamar Chase happy there, bro. That's crazy. Okay, so AR5 looks like he's been told to rest versus surgery, but the fact that they're even saying you have surgery or rest to try and fix this thing, which is long overdue to be fixed, he's going to have surgery eventually. AR5's done. You can't have faith in that. And Danny Dimes, the Colts are done. Don't draft any Colt players. We had the JT Panic Chamber episode last night. Go watch it. JT is one of the biggest avoid running backs in round number 2. You have Bucky sitting there. You got other wide receivers, McBride, Bowers, that you could go after at tight end. There's no reason to go after JT when he's playing in a crappy situation. Offensive line is going to be shaky, and you've got what? Danny Dimes and a quarterback in AR5 that we kind of hoped could still come around, but he might need surgery now, and they're telling him just rest and hopefully you don't need the surgery. That's a recipe for disaster. They're not going to live in the red zone. JT has injury history. He hasn't been a top 12 running back since 4 years ago. 4 seasons ago, he was a top 5 running back. He was number 1. Then he was running back 33, running back 33, and last year running back 13. He is 3 years in between his 4th year being in the top 5 running backs. This is somebody that you need to avoid at all costs.
You are in the panic chamber.
And then Aaron Rodgers out there slinging the rock to DK Metcalf. Kind of an introductory little session, nothing crazy. So we'll watch A-Rod. I've heard he looks okay considering, but it's really early. He's just out there, playing catch. And this one right here, CJ Stroud says he's leveled up and PR'd every personal record, which he said, which is dope. I don't know. I'm hopeful that Stroud could find his feet again, get his feet under him, but I don't know. I'm not banking on it at all. There's too many great quarterbacks. Penix Jr. I just showed you. Kyler is still a good fantasy football option, no doubt about it. There's so many options. You have no need to go after CJ Stroud unless you're in a super flex, and even then, I don't mind him, but I'd rather go after a different player. I just think the offensive line is a mess over in Houston anyway, and I just don't know what to make of this situation, and I don't want to play around with it and mix in and bringing in Chubb, and I don't know if they're going to be able to even run the ball well. I like Woody Marks, but behind a bad offensive line, I don't know that I'm going to love him as much as I could have if he had been in a different situation. So phone lines are going to be open. We're talking London, Penix Jr., Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, everything else you've seen. James Cook is at practice, but is he holding in? We'll have more reports on how much he'll try and do. Is he going to have a hamstring injury kind of linger until his contract is done? And I think there's definitely a world where the Bills say, let's just give him money, and he accepts the lower amount that they're willing to pay. There's also a world where this thing gets dragged out into August, 1st, August 2nd, August 4th, and we end up seeing Ray Davis take more and more responsibility, learn the playbook more, get more involved. They feel more comfortable with them, and then Ray Davis ends up being the guy in 2025. Even if Cook comes back, they're going to share carries. Cook will get injured because he held out. Holding out causes injury. It's just a recipe for disaster. So we'll see what happens there. But Ray Davis to the freaking moon. Ray Davis is a midseason monster. Krosky Merritt, midseason monster. Bigsby, Tootin, Sharps, Mason, Garendo, James, Milrow, Brashard Smith, midseason monsters. But Ray Davis is on that list. You know what else is on a list? A bold prediction list? RJ Harvey, who's also part of the HHH and Associates, which you can now draft a lot more easily because of all the panic Peters out there peddling that JK's taking Harvey down. They drafted this second-round rookie where Sean Payton was gushing over being able to draft him, thought he wouldn't even fall that far, got his guy, and now he likes JK better. HHH and Associates is not taking your business if you doubt one of the Triple H's, baby.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Yeah, Cook is nothing special. Cook scored a massive amount of touchdowns, had a down year in yardage, scored an anomaly-type touchdown season, and he thinks he should get paid like a top 5 running back. It's wild. So Cook's going to have a rude awakening. A rude awakening all day long, baby. All day long. Dial in. Take advantage of all these Harvey haters that didn't get Harvey, and so they've been bitter and waiting, and just now it's like, oh, it's J.K. Dobbins. I love J.K. Dobbins. He's fantastic. He's most injury-prone running back in the league, but this is okay. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Christmas comes early in Denver. Broncos GM on drafting Harvey. His running style, he's dynamic, really good vision, really good instincts, really good contact balance, highly explosive. We thought maybe he had the best vision in the draft. ADP discount league winner says BBQ, dropping a $100 holler. BBQ to the mother freaking moon.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. $100+ holler. I don't even know why they're getting ditty, why? $100+ holler. Oh, yeah.
Denny, appreciate Denny for that beautiful voice of an angel in the background of BBQ's glorious $100 holler. BBQ, thank you, my boy, for dropping that. And guys, BBQ spitting fire right now. And if you let these, I don't know, these really, really bad takes, people that don't know ball, no offense, MT2, but I've never seen you before. But Harvey sucks. Does he? Does he, MT2? Because that sounds like a no ball response. You got goggles on for J.K. Dobbins, that's fine. But like, you should say JK's better. And then we'll just be like, okay, yeah, it's not the take I agree with. But when you say Harvey sucks, it's either goggles, at least admit it, so we know that you know ball. Because if you actually don't have goggles on, how in the hell can you think that Harvey sucks? I'm just very, very curious. Very, very curious. But I'm pretty sure it's the goggles, really. It's tape, it's not goggles, then you've answered the question for us. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for answering. I thought you were going to say goggles to save face, but Williams says Harvey to the moon. We're probably, just so everybody knows, and this is, again, the more Harvey doubt, the better for you. We know he's going into the 6th round now. Not only is Harvey going into round number 6, where he's more like the zero risk. It's zero risk, all upside. He's teeter-tottering on Charbonnet value. Another round or so, and he's now a backup value-wise. So for anybody to even come in and say, Harvey sucks, don't draft Harvey, you're literally saying he's dropping into timeshare value and valuation and cost of entry, but yet you don't like him anymore. It's craziness, but let it happen. Let it happen. I hope to God that it continues. And please, for all you doubters out there, keep spreading the word. Keep telling everyone. M2T, you said Caleb Johnson better. Cam Scatterboo is better. RJ Harvey is a senior citizen in Dynasty. Answer what? Answer what? You didn't even ask a question. That's the problem. That you don't even know what you're saying. You didn't even ask a question. Answer that, bud. Again, answer that, but you haven't asked a question. You don't even know how to ask a question. But anyway, moving on from him. He's obviously new here. We've never seen him before. Here he is. Here he is to tell us about J.K. Dobbins. It's somebody's burner. It's somebody's burner. Somebody's burner in here that's been saying it over and over. Misinformed take 2. Anyway, dial in. We're here to discuss all of these topics today and more, and tackle any of your fantasy football trades. But now it's time to go trade for RJ Harvey.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Earth and Jupiter incoming. We got I heard a location is opening up on Saturn very, very soon. So
To Saturn.
learn about it. Justin, you're live. What's up?
Yeah, I'm buying any dip I can get on RJ Harvey. Like, I think that people got to understand backup running back, especially like the veterans. Like, these are just like jobs.
BBQ.
Like, it's like,
Or no, Andy.
it's like at a job. Let's say hypothetically you have the manager. If you hire somebody to work under the manager's position is not threatened. They're just the manager.
Well, the thing is so stupid about this whole panic, which is it's stupid, but it's also very awesome. It's Christmas has come early. I put that little Christmas tree emoji in my YouTube short, and then BBQ threw the Christmas theme in here too. But it really is Christmas came early, because Andy, thank you for dropping the 20 gifted memberships, guys. Thank Andy if you got a membership from him. But this is one of those things where it's like you can't really, there's only certain things you can tell certain people. A lot of people and again, half of the people, like some of the trolls that have been saying things like Harvey sucks, like really ridiculous, bad, fantasy football knowledge, obviously. Unless it's goggles, like I said, but he didn't want to admit that he's wearing goggles, J.K. Dobbins goggles. But, somebody to say that he's not good, just like, why would you that's like the Amazon review example. 5 stars, straight across the board. There's not even like, when it has like 4 and you can't even tell, is that full 5 stars or is that star is kind of not full? 5 stars, complete 5 stars. And then you have this one review out of thousands of reviews, one review that says this extension cord burned down my house. And then nobody wants to buy it anymore. It doesn't matter if there's 10,000 good reviews. Doesn't matter if it's 5 stars. You read the one freaking review. You're going to let a sour Sammy spoil how you're feeling about Harvey. Spoil whether you're going to go trade for Harvey. It's just unbelievable what this is doing to Harvey's value. But Christmas has come early. Take advantage of the Panic Peters. Even if you were like on the train, like 1 foot, but you weren't really getting on it. This puts Harvey at a cost of entry now that there's no excuse for you not to get on the train fully. He is going probably round 6. I don't even know if he falls further than 6. There are people that actually think top 6 what is a stretch. Edwin, I don't even know what you're talking about. Are you saying top 6 over? What are you talking about, Edwin? Edwin might be behind on the stream, or explain yourself. I have no idea what you're saying. But this is one of those things where, like, he's falling so far right now. And there are people in the chat, and I believe there will be people in a draft, because I don't think they're trolling. I think they're just very misguided, and they've been bashing Harvey and his age. He's 20 overall. 24 years old. He's in a dynasty format. He's not somebody you should be drafting because he's 24 years old. These are the people that probably would draft J.K. Dobbins ahead of him. I still don't know what you're trying to say, Edwin. It doesn't make any sense. Hit me with it, Justin. What else you got?
What do you think of, like, are you still in on Garrett Wilson?
Why would I be out on Garrett Wilson? Continues to produce in the turmoil that he's in. He's playing with his college quarterback, Justin Fields. The rapport is there.
They played in college together? Oh yeah, they were Ohio State guys.
The reports there. They're gonna be electric. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing changed in the storyline. I forgot your take on Garrett Wilson specifically. But that's all I got. Is anybody else on the phone line or anything?
I don't think so. Let's see here. Yeah, dial in. Aaron says for $10, I'm still taking Harvey in the 4-5 turn range in startups. Try and feel out. Do some dynasty mock drafts or just look at some dynasty combos. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll do a dynasty show tonight or something on the value. Like, where do you drop them if you're dropping them? You shouldn't be dropping them, but the fact that he will be dropped by the consensus means that you should take advantage of the drop. Always take advantage of ADP and fair market value. So even if you still like him at 4 to 5 territory, don't force it if it's allowing you to take him in a different place. But Harvey 45, I'm not scared off by the Dobbins signing, as you shouldn't be, especially in Dynasty. Like, this is two different conversations. Harvey in Dynasty, this doesn't hurt his value at all. Harvey is, if he is facing competition until J.K. Dobbins gets injured and tears his other Achilles tendon, which I promise you is not in the best shape, then all of a sudden you have your redraft value return to glory, even if I'm wrong and J.K. stealing way too much. And even if he does steal a little bit in the beginning, it's the same thing's happening for everybody but Genty. Judkins is sharing with Sampson. Najee's taking some away from Hampton. Najee equals JK. In fact, Najee's more dangerous to the workload of Hampton than JK is to Harvey, but people don't seem to get that through their head. This guy's never missed a game. J.K. Dobbins is the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League. It's crazy. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm a massive Patriots guy and a Henderson guy, but I would still say like Ramondre is way more threatening to a guy like Henderson than like J.K. is.
People.
The reliability just has not been there, you know.
Just remember, bro.
Hair on the tire. You got to think about like how much that compounds. All these years of just something happening, you know.
Bro, no running back has ever become a top 10 running back after tearing an Achilles tendon, ever. He's not threatening.
It's not just Achilles, though. It's also like the A. What was that? Wasn't he the guy who had like the ACL and like the something else in the ACL?
Bro, he said everything. That's the point. He said J.K. Dobbins injury history. This is the most injury-prone running back in the entire National Football League. I'll put his injuries up on screen. I'll locate them. I think these are all of them. So 2024 knee MCL sprain, Achilles tear in 2023, ACL tear in 2021, meniscus trim in 2021, which is in some ways the worst because of the way that it could have set off the sequence of events above it. Knee LCL tear in 2021, thigh and hamstring tear 2021, ankle high sprain 2019. Fibula fracture in 2016. He's coming for Harvey's job. He's coming for Harvey's job. Harvey better be scared and running. He better be scared and running. Scott owns.
The fact you said 2016 says a lot too.
Scott owns
because that 2016 is a freaking while ago, you know.
Scott owns JK in 7 leagues. Dobbins is him. Is he? When was the last time he produced top 15 running back numbers, my guy? The answer is yeah. And he never will, because no running back, and it's not going to be Dobbins that breaks the mold because he can't stay healthy. You do not produce top 10 running back numbers after you've torn your Achilles tendon. It has never happened and it never will. Here's his injury history. Look how bad that is. Look how bad that is. It's brutal. It's gruesome. There are some players that just can't stay healthy. Cam Akers, I told all of you he would tear his other Achilles tendon, and he did. I told everyone he would be the most injury-prone player in the National Football League, and he was. And now I'm telling you that second, who now turns first because Cam Akers is no longer a thing at all, the most injury-prone relevant running back or player in the entire National Football League is J.K. Dobbins. This is the guy that's scaring everybody into becoming a petrified Peter. The guy that's had an MCL sprain, Achilles tear, an ACL tear, meniscus trim, an LCL tear, a thigh and hamstring tear, a high ankle sprain, a fibula fracture, all of which came in this, really all of it from 2019, except for the fibula fracture. This is crazy, man. For people, Scott, I'm pretty sure you know some ball, I think. So it's either goggles for J.K. Dobbins or you don't know ball. You admit which one it is. But it's just so crazy to me. Like, it's all negative stuff from people that want to either troll or they want to be right about their Harvey predictions that they're sweating out right now. Like, damn, I'm going to look bad. I don't want to change and adjust and adapt, so I got to double down. I'm a double down Donnie. I'm taking him at 4-5. Love the two backs. Harvey's still running back one in the backfield. Yes, he is, Aaron, and thank you for the $10 super chat. $10 haulers get Mars shots. We got another $10 hauler from Mars. Aaron. You add the $10 hauler to the $10 hauler, and we get a 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That injury history is crazy, bro. I do want to say I got Garrett Wilson at 3.10, wide receiver 14, and a 14-teamer super flex, and I'm doing right now. Garrett will be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver this year with Justin Fields. You're the best, Smitty. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, pal. I think the reason why, and thank you for the gifted memberships, Andy. Again, I'd rather have this than not have it. In a sense, if you understand what I'm saying, I'd rather have the decreased value with the zero threat, because it's zero threat to me. Someone's got to carry the ball alongside of Harvey, whether it's going to be Estime or whether it's going to be JK. So it doesn't bother me that JK's in this position. He's taking Estime's job. But the crazy part about it is I still want to defend. Like, I don't want this to happen because I want to have everybody love Harvey without the ups and downs inside our community. I don't necessarily need the ADP advantage because he's already going to explode from his ADP so much that I would prefer to watch him get his cred. I would like to watch him get a seamless amount of love in the community. So part of me is like, am I rooting for JK to get signed or not when I think he could get me a discount and I still get the same player? Part of me wants that for all of you, but I'd rather have everybody win and own him at a little bit higher price tag than to watch a lot of people jump off the train, not take advantage, and then we have a smaller group of our community relishing in the glory. So it's kind of a torn situation for me, bro. I go back and forth as to which would be preferable. It's just I really think that it's going to be more of a blessing in disguise than people realize. But part of me I don't want this path for Harvey. I want a seamless amount of support and love in our community because he's one of our boys. But you know what? You guys want to jump off the train, or half of you or 2 of you or 10 of you, it's up to you. You're the one that's creating this mess for yourself. And if you're going to actually get behind the J.K. Dobbins momentum train here that's getting steam. It really is. It's getting bad out there. It's getting worse by the minute. I got people that have followed me for years that have seen my content. They literally think I don't know yet. They're like, did you see the news about J.K. Dobbins? Like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. Yeah, buddy, I have seen it. So that's pretty bad for Harvey, isn't it? That's the kind of one-dimensional way people are looking at this thing. It's going to be bad out there. And when I say bad, it's going to be great ADP-wise. Look at the injury history by J.K. Dobbins. It's so bad, bro. Look at the grades, too. Grade 2, grade 3, grade 3, grade 3. Grade 1 on the meniscus trim. It would be a major surgery and like reconstruct, like a repair, if it was a grade 3, for example. So grade 1 means they just trimmed the amount that ripped off. But the thing that's dangerous about that, think of it like you've that nasty habit people have of biting and chewing their fingers. And when somebody's ever done that, because you've got a little piece of skin hanging off and you kind of just pull it too far, and then when you do that, you feel the pain and you're like, it's sensitive, like that, or you cut your nail too short or something and you got that pain. That's what you risk when you just trim meniscus, is that if you don't get it just right, you're cutting too much, you're cutting too little, there's a little bit left to snag. And so it's not just an easy trim it and you're good to go. You're losing meniscus somewhere. Some piece of meniscus slid off and it's thinner, and you're cutting it off and it's thinner because of it. So it can create, greater and greater problems. And the fracture, grade 1, these are all horrible injuries, though. Horrible injuries. He's the most injury-prone running back in the National Football League, J.K. Dobbins. All right, real quickly, let me go to this other caller here. We've got the 609, and then I'll go to the 901 after that. 609, you're live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Terrence, I'm calling from New Jersey.
What's up, my man?
I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I haven't bought into juking, whatever the hell are hard.
You don't even know his name. Look, wait. How you gonna come in with any sort of heat at all when you don't even know who he is? You don't even know who he is.
Exactly.
Who?
Harvey. I know Harvey. Trust me, I do enough fantasy drafts.
Okay, go ahead.
I know enough to that so I avoided him. And let me explain why I have avoided him since I've been drafting. First, he's a smaller back. And we know that he's a smaller back. He's
not a smaller back. He's not a smaller back. He's not a smaller back. He's a short back. Look, Sean Payton already addressed this. He said we don't like small backs. He's like, we like big backs. And he even said Harvey is a big back. He's just short. But he's built like a tank, bro. He is built like a mother freaking tank. He is not a small running back. But go ahead.
Okay, but he's a little on the older side. You agree on that?
Yeah, but what's that matter for the next 4, 5, 6 years? It doesn't mean anything. Okay. He's got a zero amount of mileage on the wheels walking into the NFL. It's like he sat there for 3 years and now he's being elevated and he's been wasting away on the roster. But go ahead.
But the third thing and one of the most important things is, remember, he had a major injury himself. I think when he's a freshman or something. So it's not like he comes there never having an injury either. So
there's a big difference between somebody getting banged up or even a college ACL tear or whatever the case may be and having a successful way out of college, no injury concerns coming out of college, and then walking to the NFL without injury concerns at all. This is a very different situation. You can't just go grab a freshman year injury from a guy that's played how many years? 75 years in college, you said. So when he was a freshman, you're talking about 17 years ago. What are you talking about, bro? You're pulling for straws. You're grasping at straws, bro.
My thing is, but here's my thing, Smitty. You never, at least for me, if there's any type of potential, I've seen an injury. Why draft a running back?
He's not injury prone. He has no potential injury risks right now.
But I'm saying those other guys never had any injuries, though, Smitty.
What do you mean? Harvey doesn't come with injury risk. You're pulling it out of your rear end. Harvey exits college football without any injury concerns at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Who cares who suffered an injury back in his freshman year? What do you even know what injury he suffered? You don't even know. You're coming in with just nothing.
What was an Achilles? Just like it was a major injury, though. I know it was.
Here, let me pull up. It was the ACL. It was the ACL. ACL tears for running backs are in college or nothing. You can be 100%. Priest Holmes had an ACL tear. Jamal Charles had it in the NFL. Adrian Peterson. The list goes. Saquon Barkley. Look how good. ACL tears don't mean anything. You said Achilles tear. You didn't have an Achilles tear. Achilles tears are the kiss of death, bro, for an RB. So you don't even know, though. You don't even know. You just said he had an Achilles tear. You don't even know. You're coming in without good information, and you're trying to make arguments about how he's injury prone when he tore his ACL in 2001. Bro, he tore his ACL in 2021. But he doesn't have injury risk at all. Zero.
I don't
None.
know about that.
You don't know about that because you don't know. You called in without knowing anything. You called in saying that he had an Achilles tear. He didn't. He had an ACL tear in 2021, which I think he's pretty good from that, bro. I mean, he's been tearing it up in college, walks in as an amazing prospect. He doesn't have any injury risk at all. You're telling me because if someone has an injury in 2021, they now should not be drafted? You're just hell-bent against him from the jump, bro. You're trying to, just like every other hater in here that's hating on Harvey, you're trying to find something. You looked up 2021, bro, and you didn't even know the injury. You didn't even know the injury, and you said he's injury prone.
I would draft him if I thought he could win me some money. Why would I hate on him?
Then listen to what I'm saying and don't consider him an injury risk from an ACL tear in 2021.
I'm not a doctor, but I mean, the other
I know you're not. Believe me, I know you're not. I know you're not a doctor. Believe me, that's not something I'm concerned about. You don't even know.
Okay, Smitty. I just said be careful.
No, I don't need to be careful. Here. You be careful. You keep telling me. Don't tell me what to do. I'll do whatever.
Finish him. Call terminated.
Be careful. Be careful. He suffered an ACL in 2021, Smitty. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying be careful. He doesn't get injured. What are you talking about? Just rambling, Roger. This is insane. 901 caller, you're live. Unreal.
What's going on, Smitty?
Unreal. Hey, he had an injury. I'm not sure what it was. But he had I'm pretty sure it was an Achilles tear. No, it was an ACL tear. Oh. Well, be careful. Back in 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2020. This is 4 years ago. We're going into 5 years ago, practically, that he had an ACL tear. ACL tears are nothing. Zero concern. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to get your second opinion on some offers that I got from for Harvey actually today. One was RJ Harvey and Jordan Addison for Bucky Irving. I don't know how I don't really like that one. I don't know how you feel about that one.
I'd rather have Bucky.
Same. So essentially he sent Harvey and either Addison, Pearsall, or Devonta Smith. It's essentially my pick.
No. Bucky's already proven in the NFL. Not even close.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't matter how much.
The other.
Get Buckied.
But he sent Travis Hunter and RJ Harvey for Bijan. I still like Bijan, but that's a stronger offer.
That is a stronger offer.
Or JSN, by the way. He said either JSN or Hunter added to Harvey.
I'd rather have Hunter, honestly. Some people might disagree. This is a more difficult question, just because if you believe Harvey is going to be a stud, which the whole world doesn't think so anymore. So part of me's thinking that you just get a whole bunch more from this trade now. This is a kind of trade that you would contemplate before today's news. Not that today's news affects me, but it affects the fair market value.
So,
look at the reaction. So this is a backup running back according to the masses now. So you're looking at this, Hunter for Bijan. That's not fair. That's not fair market value. You need to get, even though this is along the lines of what I'm starting to think, if you needed to rebuild, you need to get another piece now. You need to get a high first round pick in order for this to work, because Harvey just took a dump value-wise according to the masses. The fair market value is everything. You don't make that other super chat where that guy said, I'm still going to draft him at the 4 range. Don't do it if you don't need to. Don't just stand on principle and say, I'm going to draft Harvey in round 4. You have to make sure you get the value. So Harvey doesn't have value according to everybody. So good. He's now he's not even a big part of this trade according to the masses and fair market value. You need something significant now to make this equal Bijan. So you need to go back to the drawing board. Tell him Harvey's changed values, bro. You need a lot more now. He should have did that trade before. Yeah.
Good idea. Do you really? Okay, so what are you thinking? What level of player should he add? He's not that much of a vegetable. He knows ball, so I can't go out there.
But you need to. It doesn't matter, bro. You need to use the fair market value. The reaction is very harsh right now in the industry. You can stand by it. You don't need to say, "Oh, just because he knows ball." You pretend that you don't know RJ Harvey's value anymore. So yeah, no, I'm talking about a high first round pick. I'm not joking about that. Now, if he says no, then say good luck with Harvey and walk away and see if he keeps hearing negativity and it gets to him and he wants to get rid of him. If he's trying to trade you RJ Harvey today, that means he's worried as hell, bro. There's a reason he's going and trying to trade him today. You need to act like you just found out the news, or you just looked into it a little bit more, and hell no. And then leave it there, and then walk away, and then when he comes back, say, I don't even think Harvey is a big piece in this trade anymore. You tell him that, and you try and get something significant. It's an early first. It's bro, I'm telling you, Harvey, Hunter, and it's got to be JSN included. I would accept that trade. That's the way this is going now, and you need to pretend you're on board with it.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Yeah, no, that trade I like.
All right. Later, bro. Call back if you can. Justin, I might have accidentally hung up on you, Justin. Call back if you want in. Travis, you're live.
Yeah, it's also, I should tell them, it's two rookies. I believe in both those guys, but, you got to give me something more.
Yeah.
Retribution on it.
Yeah, definitely. And again, fair market value is fair market value. You got to use fair market value. You can't use principle or, hey, I'm standing firm on that. Like, you have to pretend now. You live in a world where people think Harvey's not as good. So you take advantage of it. And so this trade no longer makes sense. Harvey, Hunter for Bijan, not even close. The fair market value says you need to go ask for, he said the guy was giving him JSN or Hunter. Well, now you need both. You need both or you're not doing it. Period. Plain and simple. Bottom line. Doesn't matter how bad you want this. You need to pretend you don't want it anymore. That's the art of trade negotiation. Scott, stop embarrassing yourself, bro. You should trade Harvey for J.K. Dobbins. That's when you know you're just completely trolling, bro. Because there's no way you believe that. If you do, you've got a long ways to go, and I'm glad you're here, but we got to get you caught up because that is magazine drafting 101 type mentality, bro. That's awful. That's so bad. Yeah, Travis, I mean, it is such a harsh reaction by the overall community. We've seen this before, and it's a harsh reminder that you walk into week 1 and let's say Hunter has 2 catches for 19 yards. We're going to see the entire world give up on Travis Hunter after 1 week. I'm going to get nothing but, what do we do with Hunter questions. What do we do with Hunter? The famous, what do we do with? What are we doing with Hunter? I don't understand what we're doing with him. It's 1 week. He gets 19 yards and 2 catches his first game. What are we doing with him? Garrett Wilson has 4 for 30. What are we doing with him? It's going to happen. I just didn't expect to see it. What?
Like you preach about the fat money. Have fat money ready because something like that goes on for 2 or 3 weeks. Dropping. And drop people left and right.
Yeah. It's just, I expected to see some of it before week 1, but I did not expect to see it on a player like Harvey because of a player like JK. Before anything even kicked off. Like I do expect it. I remember coming in here in like week 2 or week 3 last year, and I remember just feeling like, God, everybody's freaking out already. And it was a harsh reminder. I'd forgot because there's so many months of nothing taking anybody's value away. Everybody's flying high, right? Everybody's on cloud 9. It's like a new relationship. There's nothing to fight about. You're on cloud 9. Then when cloud 9 goes away, for those that don't know much about the psychology of relationships, but here is 10, here is 0. This is a graph. Okay, so this is month 1, this is 6 months, and this is let me go to full view, and this is a 10. This is like your relationship's amazing, and this is 1 year. Cloud 9 is typically about 9 months in length, and everybody's relationship sits on cloud 9, but quietly your relationship underneath is known. You just can't see it yet. It might be a 5 out of 10 bad. Your relationship sucks. You just don't know it. When cloud 9 runs out, you both fall down to the level that your relationship really is at. And it's a harsh reality at 9 months to 1 year. That's why typically people break up after 9 months to 1 year. You should never get married before you've been with someone for like a year and a half, because you don't know where cloud 9's how high it's holding you up. And the same thing happens in fantasy. Everybody's on cloud 9 in the off season, and then the first sign of anything, everyone just feels like they're going to fall down to a 2 or a 3, and they're just trading left and right. When we're trying to say, look, cloud 9's here, but I'm telling you, Harvey is a 9 out of 10, and it's right here. And the first sign of this cloud vanishing, people are trying to sell off, and I'm trying to tell you, don't worry. You're going to fall just right to a 9. Might even climb back up to a 10. But that's kind of the way I like to think of fantasy freakouts, is very similar to relationships. People overreact really quickly. Some people don't understand what they're going to be looking at. J.K. Dobbins right now is on cloud 9. Little do people know the relationship they're going to have with J.K. Dobbins is a 1 or a 2 out of 10 at some point this year, whether it's week 5, week 2, week 7. The guy cannot stay healthy. Cannot stay healthy. He just cannot. There's no ability for his body to stay healthy. It's been through too much. It's kind of like a vehicle that's been in a big wreck and everything's just been jostled around, and you expect it to not have a problem at some point, driving down the road on a road trip. And keep in mind how many people were saying how good Estime was going to be. Just not just the other day. The other day it was Harvey's going to suck, Estime season. Who was it that kept saying Estime season? Do you remember, Travis? They're probably saying JK season in the chat, and I see so many chats I'm not remembering who it is, but there was a couple people that were like, Estime to the moon, Estime's going to take his job, Estime's getting coffee. So where are those people jumping straight over to JK? I don't know. I'll have to look back. David W is admitting it was him. Was that right? David W, JK season? Or, I'm sorry, Estime season? I don't know. But I will tell you this. There's no doubt in my mind, objectively, JK's one of the best handcuffs in fantasy. That's an objective take that needs to be absorbed. So when we put Harvey on this board, I haven't organized this board yet. Harvey and JK might be in the top 3 or 4 handcuff situations in fantasy. So let's see.
Is Dobbins? Is that someone else?
I don't know who called it. Who called in about the AC? He thought did they kill you?
So he just brought up something I was going to talk about. He says, he had a decent year, but he was really in. And that's something you have to look at when you're evaluating a player is you got to, look at their total numbers. That tells you they're good, but then look at their game logs. Because if you look at JK's game log, he had a handful of games where he was really good. I think in handful of games, he was like under 3 yards a carry. And they have a great offensive line in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He was up and down, inconsistent. Maybe he'll be better another year off an injury, but
yeah. For those of you saying Smith, I have Smith.
Tell a football story.
Yeah. For those of you saying Smith, I have Smith on here. I just haven't organized it yet. Rashard Smith's definitely an amazing handcuff. We got Bigsby and Tootin, kind of a double. We got Hunter, Jarquez Hunter. We've got Benson with Connor. It's such a Davis. I mean, it's a crazy. That's why I haven't done it yet. Scattaboo, Sampson, Najee to Hampton, Warren to Caleb. It's Garendo to CMC, Monty to Gibbs, but they're kind of standalone, so it's hard to even judge that. Charbonnet, the best one in the league. He's top 5. He was running back 2. If you take his 5 started games last year and extrapolate it across 17, he was running back 2. This is a really tough year to rank these. This is a really tough year to rank these guys. So, I don't know, man. This is going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy year. Crazy year. Maximum says I sound too quiet. Haven't you said that like before and it's been just your phone, bro? I don't really know. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that's you again, bro, because I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that I'm quiet. All right, let me get Bruce on the phone here. Hold on one second, Bruce. Bruce, you're loose and live on the show, bro. What can I do for you, pal?
It's Smitty.
Yeah.
My question is this.
Yeah.
With JK signing, and now we have Najee on the Chargers and Ramondre Stevenson on the Patriots, which one to you feels like the biggest threat, or none of them feel like a threat at all?
Najee is probably the biggest threat to Hampton, which is why it's so wild to me that Hampton gets drafted without any hesitation or complaining. And just to put it bluntly, and you can think about this. If you're a Harvey hater right now, or you're petrified Peter, please think of this exercise for me. And I promise you that if you're objective, you will agree. All right, I almost promise you. Some of you just think you got it under control, and you don't want to think any differently. But if Hampton was drafted to the Chargers, okay, and he's only running back. They didn't bring J.K. back, right? They draft Hampton, and then they signed Najee after the draft. Let's say they signed him today. Today they signed Najee Harris. What do you think would happen to Hampton's value, which is currently at the end of 3, top of 4? It would tank. That is what have you done for me lately? That is recency bias. The most recent thing you've heard. This is really bothering you. This is a long time ago. If they would have signed Najee Harris today, everyone would be freaking out about Hampton the same exact way. That's what people need to understand. And it's crazy to me that Najee's on a 1-year deal, so the dynasty impact's not great. Although they could bring him back, it's possible, but I highly doubt it. J.K. Dobbins, the same thing, 1-year deal. 1-year deal. None of these things should be threatening the dynasty value of Hampton or Harvey anyway. But Najee is no different. In fact, Najee is more dangerous to Hampton's redraft 2025 value than J.K. is to Harvey, especially when you consider the risk involved. Cole says, what about Harvey now? Watch the show, bro. We literally did a whole hour and a half show earlier, and I've been live talking about it for an hour already. Cole, I'm talking about it right now. God, what is this, Bizarro world? What is this? What is this? What are we dealing with today? Is this Bizarro world? I'm in mid-sentence talking about it, Cole. Mid-sentence. I'm literally describing what you're asking right now.
Take a look.
If I had to rank the threat of these backups that we're talking about, I would say Najee is threat number 1. I would say Ramondre's tough because, we've seen him play. It's okay, Cole. We've seen him play amazingly before. He's been a top 5 to 7 running back before, but he has fallen out of favor. He's not even playing for his same coaching staff. I don't think they're interested in making him rise up. So I think he's kind of not a threat. Hard to say though. I'd probably say Samson and JK are very, very close. So Samson and JK, and then probably Stevenson. But the order of this shouldn't mean anything because this is not a threat and this is not a threat really, JK. Samson's not a threat to the early down work, but he will take away. He's a unique case because they've already said they want him to catch passes, and the sky's the limit for his receiving capability. So he's kind of more of a threat than JK because of that. So I'd probably say Najee, Samson, JK, and Stevenson, but I'm not worried about these two very much at all. Najee is probably going to get a shot at goal line work. He's never missed a game. There's a lot of concern that he's going to pull down Hampton's early production. But here's the thing to keep in mind for all these guys. Let's say in a worst case scenario, all of them hurt the starter. Let's say Najee hurts Hampton. Let's say JK takes a lot away from Harvey initially. Then these guys maybe just avoid the rookie wall. There's a chance that they all get going about week 4, week 5. So week 4, week 5, whether it's injury, whatever. Keep in mind that it wasn't until week number 7 that Jahmyr Gibbs was that Jahmyr Gibbs was used at all. When we look at Jahmyr Gibbs's game log from 2020, what was it, 23? He had Gibbs at the bottom here. We got David Montgomery at the top. Gibbs is running back 36, running back 20, running back 25, running back 25. So it wasn't used in weeks 1 through 4. Didn't play week 5, didn't play week 6. Wasn't used until week 7. And he finished as running back 10. And he was a top 3 running back 6 times, which finished finished first in the NFL that year. He was a top 5 running back 6 times, which finished second. He was tied for 4th in top 10 running back finishes. Tied for 4th in top 10 running back finishes. Didn't get used until week number 7. So definitely something to keep in mind if a slow start does occur for any of the rookie running backs not named Genty. If the backup, the Cuff, the J.K. Dobbins, the Najee, the Stevenson, you know, I don't think Sampson will hold Judkins back from early down work at all. He'll start, but Sampson could diminish a little bit of his value. Warren could hold back Caleb, and I didn't put Warren in there. I probably put Warren ahead of J.K. and Sampson. Anything else, Bruce?
Yeah, I don't know if you went over it yesterday. I missed it. I had to start my first day at my new job. Would you take
Congrats.
MHJ or JSN?
Congrats on the job. MHJ or JSN? Man, this is so tough because JSN to me at one point, remember I put him up on the board. I changed it pretty quickly. I think he's still capable of it, but we put him as like a top 4 or 5 potential dark horse wide receiver. I've since put him like at the 6 to 8 territory, just because it's safe. Milrow I think eventually gets the job. I don't have a lot of confidence in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold wasn't the quarterback when I made those kind of kicked off those kind of conversations. And as soon as Darnold became the quarterback, I just kind of started to say JSN was 6 or 7 depending on your scoring last year. And so I think that, having him repeat there is not bad. MHJ has, I think, a lower floor, but maybe a 1 spot higher ceiling. So maybe MHJ is 5 to 12, JSN 6 to 9, let's call it. So there's a little overlap. Higher upside would be slightly MHJ, but with more risk. Steady Eddie is JSN. Kind of hard to answer the question.
Okay.
Yeah, really, really hard to answer the question. All right, my boy. Appreciate you.
All right. I've got my mom. She said she would. I showed her the clip that we sent on. She wants to make one for the Triple H and Associates.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I want her to say, if you could have her say something for Travis Hunter, like get. What did I ask you? What did I say she could say that would be funny? Didn't I tell you something? I forget what it was.
That was the Triple H for Handy.
Oh
Harvey.
yeah. You know what? We since we have that covered, I wonder if she could say something else. What do we need something for, guys? It doesn't hurt to have more Genty content. I don't know. Yeah, have her send me whatever. Spitball it. All right, thank you, bro.
All right. Yep.
If those that don't know, Miss Robeson is the author and architect of all the glorious sounds. That's Bruce. Bruce Robeson, his mom, is the one that says these things for us.
Baked in, boys.
And she's got her own. I got her picture on my soundboard. And where is it at? I got her picture on my soundboard. And when I click it, then I have all of her stuff like this.
All right, you're on.
Get Baris or get Burrow. Either one.
All that amazing stuff there from Miss Robeson. We got a $10 super chat from BBQ. In my opinion, I think Caleb is going to take over the Steelers' backfield mid-season. He could. I mean, there's certainly that possibility. But, Warren, they just said before they drafted Caleb Johnson, they said that they were very comfortable with Warren being their starter. And I know drafting Caleb maybe makes that a fib. But he's such a good dynamic receiver. It makes Caleb feel one-dimensional, but he could certainly take over. He's built for their system, and he'll get goal line and early down work. Warren is really good pass protection, but not durable. I think that's what it's going to come down to. If an injury strikes Warren, which he does feel very injury-prone, then Caleb's going to have the job to himself, and that'll be pretty good. Money Mitch says the entire running back room had 270 carries. This is a leadership signing. But they're going to run more than 270 times. This is a leadership signing more than anything. Harvey to the moon. Yeah, I think he's going to be utilized. I mean, Estime was going to you heard Sean Payton say Estime needs more carries. and then they bring in J.K. Dobbins. So someone's getting carries next to Harvey. That's no question about it. It's not a bad thing. Harvey will get high value scheme touches just like Gibbs. J.K. is about the depth and early down work. And I don't even think early down work, BBQ, I'll disagree there and say that Harvey's their 3-down back. It's just going to come down to not giving him too many carries per game. I don't think there's a rotation where J.K. is the early down guy. Harvey's an early down specialist. He's a bowling ball. So if anything, it could go the other way. If, let's say, Sean Payton says, yeah, you know, what I said about Harvey's true, but I do like J.K.'s ability to catch. So maybe we will make J.K. 50% receiving back, you know, third down back. That would be more along the lines of what he could steal, but I'm okay with that. If Harvey's getting 10, 12 touchdowns, I don't really mind. Yo, Smitty, I'm in a Dynasty league. I have QB Hurts. Hold on one second. QB Hurts, Love, Gibbs, Hendy, Caleb, Judkins, wide receiver, Rice, Reed, Golden, Downs, Mitchell, Loveland. Any moves or just wait and see? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. Hurts, this is Dynasty League. I don't see Superflex anywhere. So Hurts, Love, Gibbs, Hendy, Caleb, Judkins. Love the team except for, you know, a little bit weak at wide receiver. Love Bowers. I probably look to maybe trade Judkins or Caleb if they gain value later to upgrade. And maybe Golden has a good game or two. You're trading one of those rookies and one of those receivers. Very attractive pieces to trade to go get a wide receiver. But I do like Rice. I think Rice is great. Get another receiver like Rice. Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. You could try and make that move now if you think you can pull it off. I definitely would like to see you move something. One running back with Golden to get a slightly better wide receiver. One or an even Steven move right next to Reed. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's that guy. He was probably just adding up, you know, running back carries. Denver ran the ball 461 times last year.
Yeah, I don't know what he was saying about that. There's not 200 carries.
I mean, now that comes in, you know, like Bo Nix had 92 carries, so obviously.
Yeah. No.
From
a team like Denver, a good rule of thumb is 450 to 480. That's what you're probably going to get out of a team that wants to run the ball. So you might get, I say a good rule of thumb is say something over 450. The team's going to run over 450 times. So there's so much room for it to be.
Knicks will have, you know, 75 to 100 carries.
Yeah. So let's say they run the ball 490 times total if you include Knicks, because they could even be 500 if you're including Knicks. Knicks gets a lot of work, so inflate it. So take off 70, you said? 70? 420? So 220?
Last year.
Yeah, so 220 carries for Harvey leaves 200 more carries for non-quarterbacks to run. You need JK or you need Estimate. You need somebody. And that's why I wouldn't even freak out no matter who they brought in. Like somebody's got to help out with that. They drafted Harvey for a reason. He's their future. And just to put this in perspective, Travis, was J.K. Dobbins available before the NFL draft? Was he available to be had?
Yeah.
Did the Denver Broncos sign J.K. Dobbins because he was such a gem that they didn't need to go into the NFL draft to get a running back? Why are people thinking properly about this? It's so wild to me.
No one signed him.
No one signed him. He's just been signed now, but yet people are scared of it because it just happened. This is the recency bias. He's been sitting out there. Sean Payton and the Broncos said, we don't think J.K. Dobbins is good enough. We're going to take RJ Harvey. Hey, we need another running back. Let's go get J.K. Dobbins. What is confusing people about this process and the order of things?
Also saw the end in the running game last year.
Because of
Herbert started to throw the ball three times a game.
Because Dobbins wasn't effective.
Because he was inconsistent.
Yeah. They were so bad at the goal line. The Chargers' goal line stats are very, very different than you would imagine they'd be for a run-hungry coach. So, yeah. I mean, they did not get what they wanted out of J.K. Dobbins in the rushing attack last year. So,
I mean, Hampton and Najee, that's a pretty big reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dobbins for one of those spots, too.
No doubt. I don't know what's going on. Is my mic? Does my mic seem low to anybody, or does my volume seem fine? Every once in a while, somebody says something, but I think some people don't. Sometimes I have you guys a little louder too.
Okay, your mic is a little low right now.
A little low?
Just off the screen.
Okay.
Let me check again.
Let me see if I can figure that out. But anyway, Arthur said, Smitty, put Triple H theme music for the Triple H and Associates. Not the game, but Kings of Kings. Appreciate you, Arthur. Thank you for the super chat. Did you hear what Myles Garrett said about Aaron Rodgers? That he put him, that he'd give him an early grave or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. Aaron Rodgers is not somebody that anybody's scared of right now. You know, Aaron Rodgers is at the end of his career. Maybe he has one last run in him, but I think regardless, it ends with them not making the playoffs. That's kind of the way I look at it. Okay, maybe it's Josh's, the phone overpowering it. It might be the phone line volume is higher than me, and then people adjust the volume, and then I don't know. That could be what it is. Who else is on the phone line? We'll be back to.
Back when I thought of something.
Oh, go ahead, Bruce.
I thought of one, Smitty.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, we have the 371 carry for the running backs, and then they're on a decline.
Yep.
Is there anything like that with the quarterbacks or the receivers?
No, not that people put out there as a curse of any sort. No, but I will say, like, you know, you can tend to see abusive, you know, style of play like Puka's or Cooper Kupp, and then you start to say, okay, well, wait a minute. Is this relating to McVay and Stafford, and is this combination killing wide receivers a little early? Like there's things like that but they're observable. They're not necessarily a number.
Okay. Yeah, I started, like, every time I hear that, I'm like, you know what? I wonder if there's something that goes along that with other positions, or is it just that specific position?
Well, running backs are the ones with the shelf life that you're worried about.
There are quarterbacks that kill their life.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Hitting was forward, one guy across the middle.
Stafford. I mean, Stafford did end Cooper Kupp's career very quickly. People forget Cooper Kupp didn't really have that good of a career. He didn't. He had an electric Triple Crown season and then a couple mediocre years, and he just had very hot starts would get hurt. Very hot start, get hurt. And so if you extrapolated, he would have handfuls of great years, but he really only had one elite year and like a couple mediocre to good years. But all right, Bruce, I'm gonna cycle the phone line off, and then we'll probably get out of here and come back for a graveyard show. Anything else, bro?
No, that's it. That's all.
All right, Bruce, see ya. Rock out. What else you got, pal? Rock out.
Yeah, why are people passing over London lately in my draft, like the last couple of weeks?
Because they don't watch the show. Because they don't watch the show. London's going to freaking Saturn.
To Saturn.
I think what it is, bro, is it just comes down to people hate Penix Jr. People doubt Achane. People doubt Kyron. People doubt Travis Hunter. People doubt Shedeur Sanders. Like, all these players are very, very... London, people throw London into that group. Penix Jr. into that group. Bijan used to be in there. Because they just... I don't know what it is. It's a type. But it feels very fitting that if the consensus in general populace is going to avoid those players, London fits the bill too. London's going to have a big year. Yeah.
Well, last year, I had at least 15 people on the staff literally told me I know nothing about football. And that day back to tell me and you how bad London was when we failed. Still waiting to hear.
Well, yeah, and like the news, like we talked about on today's news piece where Penix Jr. was asked, does he feel like London is underappreciated in the NFL? And he said, well, he won't be after this year. And so I love Penix Jr., bro. He's such a baller. He's a gunslinger. He's a traditional, old school gunslinger that can also run the damn ball, and people think he can't run. I love that too. Penix is taking this Falcons team to the moon. Yeah, he's gonna be a baller. All right, rock out. Anything else?
Yeah, and I also think London can be like a 12, 13 touchdown guy like a Mike Evans.
London will probably be, bro. I would say, I'm gonna say in the same tier and bucket as St. Brown and Puka. So
pretty good.
I think that's even if he's at the bottom of that bucket. I'm not saying he has to be better. He could, but he's going to be.
And he was dealing with Kirk Cousins being so bad.
Come on, bro. What are you saying here? Hold on, I got more just wild Harvey takes.
Knew you were.
Which one did you think I was reading? This
right now. 5'8", 190.
Yeah. Scott, stop embarrassing yourself. Stop embarrassing yourself. He's not 195 pounds. He's 205. He's built like a tank. Scott, you're throwing out fake news, Scott. You're throwing out fake news. He's 5'8", 190. He's 5'8", 205. He's built like a truck. I mean, where did you get this weight? No one can believe anything else you say below it because you didn't put the correct information. So how is any other number you put in this going to make sense to anybody? No one's going to trust a single number in it because you just said 195. Scott, we'll wait for your answer. We'll wait.
Probably reading from when he was a freshman.
I'm waiting, Scott. How are we supposed to believe another word out of your mouth? Unreal.
At least get the height right.
Unreal. Kyler and Dynasty. I like Kyler. All right, rock out. We'll see you later, bro. See you tonight, bro.
All right, cool. See you.
All right. Travis, any final thoughts? Scott ain't going to answer. He's going to change the topic. He's going to go, and let me tell you why he's bad.
Backtracking for silence.
Yeah, backtrack real quick, Scotty.
Yeah, I think London and Brown will see. I think Brown might have a few touchdowns this year and see how the offense adjusts. London and St. Brown, I think, are like two of the safe ten wide receivers. I'm not sure they are going to be the number one wide receiver, but if you want a guy that can just book for the next few years as a top 10 wide receiver, 11, 8 to 12, whatever in that range. London and Brown are not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call London probably. I call London probably the last. Him, JSN, MHJ, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's probably the last wide receiver one that could be elite. I mean, Marv could be, but Garrett Wilson. But I think London's one of them too. You know, to get a top, I think maybe Garrett Wilson can be as good as where London's being drafted though, because London's being drafted as a wide receiver one. He's just kind of like the lower end. So I think Garrett Wilson's the deepest wide receiver one or MHA that you could find, but London's the deepest top 5 wide receiver that I think you can find. I think he could be top 5. So Scott, at least Scott's admitting it. Oops, you were correct. Site was looking at was wrong. But see, that's the thing, is you're coming in with like other people's ideas, Scott. You're coming in with other people, what they've said. You've heard on another channel or a podcast that Harvey's not going to be good, and you're just repeating it. That's the problem, is you don't have any of this information up here stored. You're just literally handing it off. You're regurgitating it. That's the problem, Scott. And other people read what you're saying, and you might get some novice that's never been on the channel before, and I don't have a time to address your inaccurate comments, and somebody reads it and then bounces, that you're setting somebody on their way thinking that you know anything about Harvey, and you don't. Yet you're talking about it. It's a problem, Scott. All right, Travis, I'll see you tonight.
Yes, sir. Talk to you later.
All right, later, bro. Bye. All right, we are, BBQ with a $5. Harvey, Hunter, Rice, Debo, Hendy, Mahomes, crazy ADP values. Can't stop drafting them. I can't wait to see where Harvey goes tonight. I just can't wait. I can't wait. And all the petrified Peters and scared Scotties.
Hi, I'm worried William, and my mommy just warmed me up a hot pocket, and I've never even talked to a hot chick.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA select start.
Warning, warning. Cheat code activated.
Mark Cleveland in the house. What's up, Mark Cleveland?
Warning. Cheat code activated.
Mark Cleveland in the house. Mark Cleveland, glad to see you in here, my boy. Caps, we'll see you later. Clint, TM, Jack of all trades. Appreciate you all. Moderators, Matt. Appreciate you, Matt. Moderators, appreciate you. Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, Blackbeard, DeBalt, Travis, Vampy. Who am I forgetting? I always forget. $10 per month. Cancel anytime. Get over to the Patreon. We'll do an after, per usual. We'll do an after the 8 p.m. show topic and conversation. So jump on over there right now, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about here. So jump over to the Patreon. That link is being dropped in the live chat. It's in the description of the video as well. But here's the link. Jump on over to it. Hit it. Do it live. See you all at midnight Eastern to draft. Oh, and real quickly, Underdog Fantasy, in order to draft tonight, make sure you're signed up and ready to go, because what we'll do is we'll have you open the app. Everybody will be ready. They'll have it downloaded. Hit this link I dropped in the live chat right now. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat right now, momentarily, on the way out the door. So click that new pinned link. The link's in the description. Code Smitty gets it done as well. If you're asked, hey, how'd you hear about us? There'll be a spot for it, but the link inserts Code Smitty for you. But they'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. So they'll put, if you deposit $1,000, they'll give you $500. If you do $2,000, they'll give you $1,000. All the way up to $1,000 in bonus credit into your account. They'll match you 50% on your first deposit. So sign up now. Get over there now. The link's been dropped. I'll drop it one more time. It's pinned in the live chat. It's in the description of the video if you're watching a replay. And Code Smitty gets it done. Get the app downloaded and ready so that when we go live tonight, I can say, open the app, everybody, go into this specific chat. Wait, hit the green button now, and we'll jump in together. You're not going to get in if you don't sign up now. I'll see you all at midnight Eastern. Deuces. Harvey to the moon. Let the haters hate. Let the haters hate.